First things first, take everything out of the box and take inventory. Familiarize yourself with the installation booklet. It's got a lot of good information in it, and it's worth watching the video on the website a couple of times so you can understand how to install this properly. Find your plug in the bag of plugs and add it to the transformer. Now you want to figure out which side you want the actual window controller to be on. The window's going to open this way, so we want the controller on this side. So if you take the cover off, you notice the motor is way over here. I'm going to need to switch this motor over to this side and push the brains of this unit over to the other side. The instructions clearly state how to do that, so I'm going to do that and go from there. All right, the motor's been switched over to the other side, so now it's time to install the track. Move the controller out of the way so you can figure out exactly the length of the track that you need. Install the cap on the end of the track, and then add that to the two tracks together, because I need just a little extra length. Measure where you need to cut the track, and by the way, this is all in the instructions. Bring in the module and set the track on top of it, and mount the track to the window. Mount the unit to the windowsill and then give it some power. Make sure the dip switch settings are set appropriately. Notice number 4 is set for window or on. If you've got dip switch 1 set incorrectly, in the back of the manual it tells you how to reset the whole thing, which is what I'm going to do right now. And you hold down this function selector button when you turn the unit on. And it makes a beep, and it'll go ahead and run through its programming over again. We're setting the upper and lower limit. And here the window comes back. There we go, green light, it's all set. To utilize the push button remotes, there's a little red light at the top. If it's not coming on, what you need to do is unscrew this from the bottom, take the two halves apart, and flip this dip switch right here to turn it on. Now it'll come on. Put the unit back together, and then we have to sync it up with the actual window controller. If your remote doesn't work, then what you want to do is press this little black button, which is learning mode over here, until the blue light flashes, comes on, and then press your remote button. There you go. Wait till this light gets back to green, and now your remote's going to work. All set. Take 3 of the connectors that come with the window controller and strip the wires at the end of the connectors. On one of the wires, just strip the black and red wire, and the other one, strip the yellow and black wires. Once the wires are stripped, twist together the 2 black wires from the yellow and black stripped combination. We're now ready to wire up our EWILink Smart module. Follow the instruction booklet that comes with your module and wire up your power module here and your other wires into here. The black wires the black twisted grounds are going to go into this middle box here. You're going to need to unscrew these screws first and then slide the wires in them, and then tighten the screws down. Now take the cover off our main controller unit so we can wire in these three connections to, one, give the board power, and two, wire it up so it will open the window and close the window. Now's the time to plug in our connections to the different functions that exist on this board. In the side, there's little plugs for these connectors. Take power, which is the power one here, and use the PET function. Once you get power to the board, you're going to see a little red light flashing on the board itself. That means it actually has power. And now what you need to do is follow the directions to link it up to your home Wi-Fi system and get it established through EWeLink. And just follow the directions in that little book and it'll show you how to make an account and get that set up. Okay, I've paired the device through the EWeLink app, and you notice that this light is solid red now. That's because it's paired and everything's working. Essentially what you do is you hook it up, you run the EWeLink app, you got to set up a username and password for it. You hold this button down for 7 seconds until that light starts flashing red 3 times, and then it'll keep going 3 times. And then in the app, you go ahead and you add a device, and it'll ask for your Wi-Fi username and password, and then it will actually find the device. You can rename the device and sync them up. And once you have it synced up, you can turn off and on this relay right here, which turns this guy on, and you'll see an extra light show up, turn on and off on the board. So it's pretty cool. So now it's all working. So now what we need to do is hook up these guys to the actual functions themselves here. And let me review my notes and we'll get right on that. So the way these connectors are lined up is the one that is in this unit right here, this yellow one, this goes into the inside switch on the side, and the other one goes into the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and plug these in right now. Okay, this is going to be a little hard to show, but essentially what I have going on is the top wire with the yellow on there, that runs into this inside where the light is on the side. The bottom wire right here, this bottom yellow wire, goes to the outside, just to make sure you know that. So essentially, all I need to do now is use the EWeLink app, and I can turn it on or off, and it will open and close this window. And the inside light will be on, or the outside light will be on. It will oscillate in between those two. At this point, we have successfully installed the EWeLink controller board, Wi-Fi controller board, to our window opener. And we can open and close the window using the EWeLink app. Our next step is to sync that up with the Amazon Echo ALEXA, or Alexa. I can't say her name out loud or else she does stuff. Now you essentially go over to your Alexa app on your phone and ensure that you have the EWeLink skill enabled. Once that skill is enabled, then you're able to access via Alexa the actual device and open and close it, or turn it on and off, which is opening and closing the window. So at this point, ALEXA will only understand on and off because that's the way the switch is set up. You need to create a routine to make it a little more user-friendly, like open and close. Right now, I just named this board Jane, and you can name it, whatever you want, sideboard, window, whatever. But at the moment, it will work with on and off. So we can say, Alexa, turn Jane on. And the window opens. Or Alexa, turn Jane off. So there you go. Now you just got to get into the Amazon ALEXA area and create a routine with that name, and you're golden. Now I'm going to put the cover back on and reroute these wires and put a little box over the cover so it sits over here on the windowsill. And that's that. Alexa, open the recliner window. Alexa, close the recliner window.